A troubling surge in hate crimes and discrimination targeting Asian Americans has hit the headlines in the wake of the COVID-19 pandemic. The violence has cast a newfound spotlight on the bigotry many Asian immigrant populations experience in the United States. Among Asian Americans, Indian Americans have not borne the brunt of the hateful discrimination of the COVID era. But the community, now the second largest immigrant group in America, is no stranger to prejudice. A 2020 survey by the Carnegie Endowment for International Peace, Johns Hopkins SAIS, and the University of Pennsylvania, in conjunction with the data and research firm YouGov, uncovers just how much discrimination Indians in America face. 31% of Indian Americans believe that discrimination against members of the community is a major problem, and another 53% believe it's a minor problem. Discrimination based on one's skin color is the most common form of bias, followed by discrimination based on one's gender, religion, and Indian heritage. Around 5% of all Indian Americans report having encountered discrimination due to their caste identity. Overall, in the past 12 months, 1 in 2 Indian Americans reports being subject to some form of discrimination. Not all Indian Americans experience discrimination at the same rate, however. For instance, Muslims report the greatest degree of religious discrimination by far, and contrary to what one might expect, US-born Indian Americans are much more likely than their foreign-born counterparts to report being discriminated against.
History was written when we were there. We were here. We were here. We were here. For last 30 to 40 years, we have tried to educate Western countries about our plight. We have knocked the doors of United Nations. We have knocked the doors of each and every human rights organization, which is why we think this is very historical. The law allows us to now speak, talk about things that are wrong. Without that, there's a fear of retaliation, and people do not want to talk about it. So which is why we consider this as a really big moment, because nowhere around the world such an ordinance has been passed outside of India.